Okay, in this short video we're going to take a look at sleeping bags suitable for UK winters. Now I'm going to be looking at bags that are suitable for mountaineering, trekking, lightweight backpacking, trail walking and so on for the UK winter. And of course, once we get into our winter season, we really are talking about much more time in the tent at night. The nights are much longer and the chances of bad weather are much greater, of course. So you're going to be spending more time in your sleeping bag and dealing with longer nights. So it's well worth looking at carefully what sort of sleeping bag really works for that, where you're spending much more time in it. And then of course during the winter your rucksack's a lot heavier, you've got more clothing, more gear, heavier weight gear, more protective equipment and possibly even crampons and ice axes. So you really are carrying a much bigger load than you were in the summer months. So it's well worth looking at how light can that sleeping bag be, and yet how practical is it to get through rough conditions in the mountains. All right, let's look at the first bag. The first bag I'm going to suggest for UK winter, lightweight bag for UK winter, is the Minim 400. Now it's a part of the Minimus range, minimalistic in its design. It doesn't have lots of features. It's been designed to be very light, to give the best weight to warmth performance you can get, and it's a very popular bag and a lot of people have used this through UK winters. It's got a typical operating temperature of -5 degrees C, so that is enough for what a lot of people will do during the winter. The Minim 400, this one is a K series bag filled with 1000 fill-power down, the best down in the world, the highest quality down in the world, and it's a natural down. It's 100% pure goose and it's a natural down. It's not treated or stiffened in some way. It's not had chemical enhancement treatments to change its performance. It's a natural down, and we use that because we get the best loft we can get from the down, and secondly you get the best longevity of the down. You get a very long lifespan of the down when it's natural, and it's stored, as long as it's stored well and dried correctly after use and so on, it gives you a very long lifespan. So we're using natural downs here. This one is covered in MX fabric, a very lightweight and very tough fabric, and the inner is made of a 10 denier 10X fabric. Really soft and light downproof, and it really allows the down to loft. However, there's one thing that I would suggest worth looking at for UK winter camping, and that is the outer fabric of this bag. Now we have several fabric options. We make the bags to order for you. You decide what you want. You look, if you have a look on our website, you choose in the options. One of those options really worth looking at here is the fabric option. The default fabric is MX, but there's another fabric in the list which is really worth looking at, and that's Ultra Shell. It's a water resistant fabric, and that really elevates the performance of the bag and it helps it cope with condensation. That's its primary job, is to deal with condensation in the tent. Ultra Shell has two proofings on it, one on the face on the outside there, it's a DWR coating, and that makes the water bead and run off it, but on the underside of the fabric it has a spray-on coating which is permanently waterproof and breathable, so it really is superb for sleeping bags. So the Minim 400 is a very good choice for winter camping. Now, if you're going to camp into really much colder, if you're going into the mountains and you're going into much colder weather in the UK, then this is the bag I would suggest looking at. This is the Hispar 400K. K series bags are made out of the lightest fabrics and also 1000 fill-power down, so it really, you get the best performance you can get out of those bags. Now the Hispar 400 is an ultra lightweight mountaineer's bag. It's a little bit wider at the top there, just at the shoulders and so on. It's a really great bag in the UK winter mountaineering conditions, and it's a great bag as well if you're going to do any snow holing or anything like that. Now this bag is already made in Ultra Shell, that water resistant fabric, filled with 1000 fill-power down and 10X fabric as its inner. Now you can see there's some differences in this bag. It has a mummy shaped hood to it, so I'll just push that collar down so you can see it. The mummy shape is where we bring in the shoulders of the bag and bring the hood in closer to your head, and that elevates its performance. But by doing that, we've narrowed the width of that bag. With a Minim 400, you can get into the bag without the need of a zip. But with a Hispar 400, you actually have to have a zip on one side of it. We put a short zip on here on the left side, and that gives you the entry point into the bag. Now, behind the zip are two downfill baffles, heavily insulated with down to stop cold air getting in. Zips don't block air, they're like a sieve, they let air through, so it's important how good that downfill baffle is behind it. And the other thing here on this bag is that we've got a downfilled collar, and a collar really is superb. What it does is it allows you to close the bag around your shoulders and around your neck, but what you can do is lock it down around you to keep the heat in around your body, but you don't have to cinch in the hood around your head. So the hood can be quite relaxed and open, so if you want a slight bit more coolness around your face, or you really want to lock it down in the bag, you can use the collar to do that, the downfilled collar. Of course, if you want to cinch it down, then the hood also closes. There's another cord there for pulling in that hood and really cinching it down to get every ounce of warmth you can get. Okay, the Hispar 400 has got a typical operating temperature of -9, so it really covers most of the UK winter conditions. If you're going to go high and camp up in the mountains, high in the mountains, Scotland and places like that, yeah, great piece of kit. Okay, I've got one more bag that I want to just show you because I think it's a very good bag as well for UK winters. Now this is the Hispar 500 K series version, the Hispar 500, and it's got a typical operating temperature of -15, so that's going to deal with really the worst you can get in the UK. But what's smart about this bag is it's a very lightweight bag, but it's a transition bag into the greater ranges. So if you were planning UK winter camping but also had ambitions to do high-level trekking in the Himalayas and similar mountain ranges to that, the Hispar 500 is superb because it's good enough to trek at 5,000 metres, good enough for Everest Base Camp, that sort of trek. So the Hispar 500 is a really good bag, and plenty of people take these into places like Iceland and Greenland and places like that, trekking and walking and so on. So this is one of those bags. It's at the top end of what you want for UK, but it's a transition into the greater ranges, and it's not one of those really big bulky bags. It's an extremely lightweight bag. It's a mountaineer's bag, typical operating temperature of -15, so perfect for the top end of cold British winter mountaineering, but it also takes you onto the greater ranges, so it's a really good piece of kit. But there we have three. Let's just go back to those three bags that I really recommend for lightweight backpacking, lightweight sleeping bags for UK winters. From the warmest, the Hispar 500, going one down, that's rated at -15. The Hispar 400 rated at -9 degrees C, and then looking at the lightest bag here for UK winters, the Minim 400, rated at -5 degrees C. Okay, cheers.